remaining. You may now select your heroes. 5 seconds remaining.
There's a surge. You would want to doom the Darkseer as well. Like, overall, if the fights go properly, you have the Ember and the Naga going in first. You don't really need to worry about the Darkseer surging the Storm after the Doom. Probably is gonna be able to take care of it. Either the Storm, Big Lift. There are ways, you know. And for execution, like you say, Bob has to have a really good start. You have to really get a lot of value with the Pugna Storm combination, go around the map, kill after kill after kill. Just try to take control. Looking for kills, execution. Blacklist is more like a slower lineup where you're trying to hit your timing and ball together.
I think this is, I like this better though for Blacklist, especially for Raven personally. I just don't see this team, unless they're playing around a TB where maybe Raven can be a little bit more of the leading voice. I don't really see this team being able to execute around one of these fast lineups. I like the direction that Blacklist are going back into here as they can try and settle into the hands of the Raven carry Naga Siren. Execration though, they're good in these scrappy fights, especially with these weird support duos, Pugna Shanks, you know, the Pugna Skywrath Mage. I'm not sure, man. I think considering how last game played out, I might give it a little bit of an edge. Execration.
Bias. I call biasness.
Biasness. Yes, you're right. I'm biased for the Filipino team. My bad.
Oh, right. You're biased for the 5-man Filipino team, not
That's
the
right.
4.5 man.
But they usually execration claims 6. Execration claims 6. Yeah.
You have to count chemo as well.
Yeah, of course. And well, we'll see how it ends up going for them here as we do get underway very shortly with game number 2. Should be making for some exciting team fights for both sides, especially with the song potentially to reset here. We'll get into battle. Expecting any surprises here? I mean, I don't think this is a mid lane matchup. We're too unused to seeing this Carl and Bob mid. But
Brothers.
The Storm Brothers as well, the Spirit Brothers rather.
Should have an advantage match a bit.
30 seconds to battle.
That's the Ember is always going to come in, he's a melee hero, he has to come in, get a last hit, and then he's going to get hit by the Remnant. It's the usual stuff, you know. And it's going to come to a point where the runes are going to play a huge factor, you know. 6-minute runes onwards, so the supports have to try to play the mid matchup by helping them control the rune. Especially if you get like a regen rune early for the Storm, that could be very, very problematic for it.
I foresee, on that note, Winter, I foresee Blacklist maybe trying to leverage their draft there a little bit more, considering when it comes to the battles of rotating mid and exerting control for those runes, I'd strongly prefer to have these Blacklist supports with a Rubik and a Techies.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to give you an advantage for sure. And Rubik is also excellent at controlling the runes with the lift. So it's definitely something to look out for if you're... But if you can do well enough in the lanes where you're snowballing hard enough, it might not matter if they have techies and... So we'll have to see how the laning plays.
That'll depend how it turns out indeed. First couple of waves always determine a little bit of the tempo here for the Spirit matchups. Actually, as looks like, range creep secured by Bob. Bob unable to deny his own though. Always lovely seeing this high base skill matchup. I wonder how many mid lanes these two have actually faced off against each other.
High skill mid matchups. It's SF Queen of Pain.
SF Queen of Pain. My bad. It's SF versus SF only, right? Is the standard.
No runes, no neutrals.
No runes, no bottle, no raindrops, none of this new stuff. No mangoes. Mangoes not allowed. It wasn't in the game in 6.82. You can't bring it in.
Just some pure last hit and denying.
Just some pure 15-year-old reflexes. She needing. That's what she needs to be able to.
Are you saying if you are past 20, you shouldn't play mid?
So all I'm saying is Sumail won TI when he was what, 16, right? How many points he won since then?
So if you haven't won TI according to second strike at 15, you're
done.
Bad.
You're done. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, let's say things going actually pretty well between that Pugna and the Marcy, especially with the lifesteal that they're going to be able to get through the sidekick. Raven not really struggling top too much either. We'll see, you know, It's always awkward. I feel like the biggest deal of playing Darkseer is you want to have a lane partner that can play with you at level 3, right? You're looking for that level 2 Iron
I
Shell.
mean, ideally that's the case, but right now because he's stronger in the lane, because he's a universal hero, you don't really need to use so much mana to last hit creeps, because you can just use your
right Fist of Justice, the karate chops.
Yeah.
And you got a point there, actually.
So it doesn't actually matter as much as before. I think before it matters a lot, but right now with the new Darkseer, I feel like it's nice to have that partner, but you also don't really need it.
Yeah, I guess in a way, it also makes the Rubik Fade Bolt feel a little bit better too, right? Or a bit more efficient, reducing more damage based on...
Sure. I mean, it definitely that's true, you know, for the laning phase.
I just never thought about it, to be honest. Not the biggest deal in the world.
You know, the small things add up in the laning phase.
They do add up. That's the things that the pros use to really, you know, getting into small edges and end up taking maps and eventually tournaments over each other. Blacklist not too unhappy with how things are playing out so far. 6-9 so far, though, for Tino, as I think going to see Raven pretty unhappy. So it's definitely the lane I think we're going to struggle the most in. Bosku unable to really effectively trade too much. Yeah, because you can see that vacuum with all that armor, all that damage now on Darkseer becomes really difficult. And regen now at the Ring of Hell.
Yeah, this lane is just going to start to get harder and harder once the Darkseer gets more levels, you know. It's the nature of the lane. Naga shouldn't be too worried about that. I mean, your goal in this lane is just to make sure you secure your DPS, you get to a point where you get jungle, and you don't really have to deal with the Darkseer anymore. Let the Rubik take the lane. That's what all the supports dream of. Oh, my carry is going to jungle. Great!
Great, now I get experience. Yeah, no, I think not a lane that he'll struggle too much in from the trees, at least to soak a bit of experience. Darkseers tend to go pretty hard as soon as they get level 6, but see how he continues to play it now. KP and Tibbs find themselves a bit awkwardly behind the tower here, playing around this Execration high ground ward. They're never going to really be able to get the jump they're looking for. Mid lane, Carl. They do get through the flame guard. TP is coming in now as Carl makes his way towards the water rune, avoids the auto attack, but it's Carl. Eyes on the prize. He is going to TP back down bottom to make sure he gets both runes. That's up. It was such a long TP as well, actually, because Tibbs just TP'd, or Bosco just TP'd, but he will get the refill, and that forces Bob to run home.
I'm walking back to base.
I don't think I've seen that a whole ton. Committing the TP, especially after support rotates in, adds another second of your channel time, but it sure as hell beats walking, man.
Yeah, that's why you don't try to contest. You just be happy with taking your own rune. So it's at least one apiece, you know?
Millennials these days, they'll do anything to avoid walking. Can't believe it.
That's why you're not a mid player. How we see Bosku going bot lane, trying to, I guess, set up a kill.
Yeah, I don't know how successful it'll be. Maybe now that KP's a little bit more self-sustainable, they might consider going through that twin gauge, trying to get a little bit more spice top.
Charges.
They're still sticking down bottom, actually, because they're going to make the jump onto Carlo instead. Right clicks come out, and KP draws first blood. Paulo's, though, very tanky. 13 wand charges. He can fight through this one. Still has no other teammates to support him. I'll go ahead and take things a bit easier from there on out.
Raven's struggling at top right now. Push back from the lane, doesn't have the best of blast hits.
Vanguard now.
Yep.
Full Vanguard for Tino.
Vanguard, so he just needs his mana item. And this lane is going to be like over for the Naga. He needs to just go jungle and just not deal with the Darkseer, you know. I think maybe you wait for level 5 when you have the third point in your mirror image. Still sit in the lane for now because Darkseer has no mana. The Naga should still be able to sit in the lane, get a couple of waves more, go to the jungle.
Carlos and Carl managing to avoid each other here. They're pretty close to level 6. Yeah, there's level 6 indeed. The pull back on end, the zip, and the explosion. Bob has the kill onto Carl. That was fast. And now the Arcane Rune immediately hit this to the bottom. Not this time, but you know, but the FE voice line, you know. Depending on the year, those can be quite expensive.
He learned his lesson. Not too early.
Not too early. You gotta save 3 for later on in the Rambulan. KP looking to try and get on top of Palos, but a bit too speedy already. Gonna struggle just a bit here. They've also, I see a second hero walking home now. Yeah, there's also Bosco who's walking home. He might TP back out of the base, but they are really struggling in this top lane. Now Raven even being chased down and away really far from the lane.
There's nothing more he can do to lane. Like right now, the question is whether Bosco is going to go top to take the XP or he's going to go bot to try and set up something on Palos.
What do you think he should do? What do you think he ought to do this game? He's chosen bottom.
I think he should try to set up a kill, because if he goes top, he can just die kill to
Radiant's
Darkseer.
middle
And then he doesn't have a
tower is under
TP.
attack.
Well, at least he's down here and can look to start a fight, even if it does mean he dies. Hasn't shown quite yet in the lane, but
KP is only level 4.
Radiant's middle tower is
quite
under
hard.
attack.
that is not too crazy, but you normally tend to see the Dooms not struggle as much. Palos has already used Dispose, but still has Rebound. Unlikely that they actually catch him here. We'll use Telekinesis into now the Blast Off as they continue to dive underneath this Tier 1 tower. That triggers a TP now. Carlo joining the fight. Blood Grenade thrown. That'll trigger another TP as, with the Decrepify, it's going to allow for another Dispose. Carlo is going to get the kill on a Bosku using, my goodness, even the Nether Ward, and KP bit off way too much than he could chew. Still just barely alive, going down to the right clicks and will explode. Carlo now in the fight. Let's see what he can do. And in Winter, it's not a whole lot of anything here between him and Tim's. We'll just have to kind of watch their comrades die.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any points in chains yet, so unable to stop them from getting away. Well, at least he tried, you know. Yeah, he has a Remnant back at the Tier 1 tower and mid, so he doesn't really lose too much time or CS. I think it's a good attempt. Top lane.
Yep, another big zip onto Raven. He actually might die underneath his own Tier 2 tower. Bob getting the damage. Raven had the points in Song of the Siren. Couldn't get it off, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the problem, right? If you stay in the lane against the Darkseer, there's always a risk against.
There they go. There they go. They're tipping on a Raven now. They've shifted strategies. They're not even paying Carl any attention. No respect here on the Ember Spirit of Carl.
No respect. How can you not respect the kid wonder that is Santino?
The Kid Wonder. Well, no either, Mr. Frog. There he is. Look at all 4 triangles in that frog's gullet. Now, Carl, I don't know if he can even kill Tino. From the Invis rune, he's gonna give it a go. Does have now reinforcements arriving. Carl is gonna have to walk him down, but actually the Flame Guardian is gonna get burst through, so right clicks will have to do. And with the ensnare, they ought to have it. Oh, I almost thought for a second there. Winter was gonna be able to surge away, but not the case here this time.
Yeah, that's a very, very big kill for Blacklist, killing and shutting down the Darkseer. He's been like getting way too much from the top lane. Actually, he's still top net worth, but it's a big kill. They got a lot of gold and XP for that.
You gotta uproot him, push the wave back on in, and force him to reset back to tower.
This game is gonna have to be like some 50-60 minute game if Blacklist is gonna win.
Wow, really? You're already forecasting that?
I mean, they have a Doom and Naga, you know. I don't need
Yeah.
too much to forecast that.
I suppose not. Carl is gonna be forced away. Before he wanted to really use that Remnant, though, for the upcoming 10-minute rune spawn. We've seen an Invis Winter and we've seen an Arcane. I'd say Haste and DD are the 2 big ones that would really look to accelerate Bob's game.
Regen would be nice too. I guess with the Pogna, you don't exactly need the regen.
It's an illusion. Carl picks it up, so not the biggest game-changing rune here, I would say.
Yep, they might actually run into Raven. I can't believe Raven's still here farming. Like might actually just get caught out. Depending on how much time he has to pop the ulti, he might actually die here.
Oh, and he's farming here still in the Warpine Raider. The ward's erected. They do actually see him. Do they think it's the real Raven?
Then he shanks.
They need a +1. There's going to be now the Sif on in. They're immediately onto Raven, and yeah, easy kill there, even without the silence, Winter. I think they had him dead to rights. Raven having a brutal start to this game, and so is KP. Look at this Doom. He's got no money.
Doom without money. Not something you see. I guess he's alright, he's actually pretty poor.
He's pretty poor, Winter.
Now that I'm doing the math,
he's pretty poor.
Well, let's see.
KP, don't you know that things cost millions here in Bali? You gotta start saving up the Doom now. On to Palos, the blast off avoided by Bob. They're gonna fight through those, even through the Doom. Palos even considering it, but it's Bob with the explosive double kill onto both supports. Carl now joining the fight as Bob's out of mana, but Palos looking to try and get back in. Yeah, he's really just kind of issuing stop commands here, looking for the high 5. Execration, calm, cool, collected, and very confident in this second match now versus Blacklist. This one's not really
things are not
looking so close, Winter.
Things are not going well for Blacklist, you know. Their slow draft is not paying off. Ember didn't really exactly have a very good start, so he's not able to help his team. But I think he has to sacrifice his game, you know. He has to just make sure that the Doom and the Naka is going to have enough space on the map. You can't have 3 cores all farming, you know. Somebody has to just do the dirty work and just help the team. 12-minute rune.
I mean,
Haste
but-
rune. Okay, this is going to help him.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, I
under
mean, you're right.
attack.
I would say Carl's being admiral in that way. The haste rune as well might end up being big. They just have to connect on one of these techies blast offs into mines. The damage, the control has been lacking. Where they don't lack is in the potential burst. As the haste rune is activated, Bob's still giving chase. They want this. Shanks has level 6, but not enough mana for the Mystic Flare, and they don't have enough move speed to get Carl underneath the tower.
That's a very good play, I feel like. They probably know that they can't kill the Ember Spirit, but they want to force the haste rune up.
Yeah, and he can't kill them either. He just walks away.
So now they don't have to worry about the ganks coming from Ember with the haste rune. So
That's really good.
That's a pretty good exchange there for Explosion. They're gonna continue to farm Marcy into her Battle Fury timing. Darkseer is going to get a Grease fairly soon, so you have a cleanse.
Here I am.
I guess it's mostly useful against the Searing Chains of the Ember Spirit.
Another zip. Shanks not in time there on the silence. Bob, I mean, just absolutely exerting so much control here, so much pressure.
This is what you get when you have a partner behind the storm.
Yeah, that's, I mean, very true. You can see it in action now. There's the top up like nothing ever happened for Bob. Didn't even luck into the trinket either, by the looks of things.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I'm
under
not so
attack.
sure as hell has him though. That would go a long way. It's kind of a mana-rich lineup. They might even collapse on the bot lane here by the looks of things. And indeed they are. Lines being drawn on the map. As you can see, Paolo's farming a big old stack with that brand new Battle Fury.
Yeah, the map
Talon on the Unleash.
Map's getting really small right now for Blacklist. They have to try to figure a way out how to involve this Ember Spirit in a move, you know. They need to do something. They've done nothing for like the past couple of minutes, you know. It's mainly Excretion dictating play, running around the map with this gas station storm, taking control of the towers, forcing Blacklist into a very, very passive position right now on the map.
I would say of the two teams, Execration have been able to prove that they can mess with a little bit of tempo here. You know, before it was SMG able to really execute on those off-lane mid-1 drafts, especially on the Coddles where he really accelerated the game, but Execration, I'd say, of the three teams at the Major have been next best here.
And going through the Twin Gate on the Storm and the Skyra, they're trying to get, trying to gank the Naga Siren, but Raven's already long gone. With the mid.
He's learned from those.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Stay in one area for too long.
Steadies, he's moved away to one of the side lanes, continuing to farm up. Nearly at his match style Winter, then he still needs the hearts, and then you still need probably 10 more minutes after that for you to feel really comfortable in this game.
Welcome to Naga Gaming.
Indeed.
KP, on the other hand, got his miners. So the goal is starting to roll for him, but he's
Radiant
the
are
same
scanning.
as the Naga. He needs a long way as well to recover.
Yeah, and again, at least he's now out-farmed Carl. In a way, that's a good sign, right? With the Midas, with the Devour now, those points, getting to work, getting that efficient money source, doesn't feel amazing for him, because as you say, we've seen one Doom, hasn't picked up a kill. There's a tower, at least for Tim. Is that a boy?
Excavation. Grouping around the Storm, Darkseer has teleported down. He does have a mech. I'm not sure if they're gonna find anything here. Blacklist are currently not really interested in fighting. They're just looking for trades, trying to go for whatever farm they can get around the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, this Storm partner right now is just way too scary. So I think it's the right thing to do for them to try to dodge and try to trade wherever they can.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And they're gonna finish the tower. Maybe a smoke to sweep the map. This Execution, they really want to fight.
Yep. So regen rune there for the Storm. Might end up making a difference in a fight, potentially. He's able to get out regen and perhaps Remnant back in. I think Shield's the last rune we're waiting for here, Winter. And then they are all going to reset. Arcane, the first one. Could you imagine if Bob had an Arcane rune at 18 minutes? That would feel...
GG.
Yeah, that would feel excruciating here. It's in these couriers here. That's already the Orchid. We got baited by the first courier, but worry not. An Orchid now online here for the Storm Spirit. I reckon that's going to really ruin Carl's day here.
He has a use soon, so he should be fine.
That's a good recognition that he's in a losing matchup.
I think he's buying the use for the Skyra, but right now he also has to deal with the Orchid.
Yeah, and he does, and he'll have to deal with it rather quickly as well. Paolo's going to be trying to bait in the mid lane. They have TP'd one hero out of the smoke.
They might run into
Tino.
Raven here.
Oh, Raven, he's right in the firing line. I don't think he's expecting it. Otherwise, oh, the Manta immediately into the song. This time wasting no time, actually. Zip Zap back on out. I believe Bob could have just gone for the Vortex. Raven able to avoid that one.
Yeah, I don't think they expected the Manta. He just got it.
Well, very well played indeed. It's going to see Raven now even closer and closer to his next item, but you know, it's plays like that that buy precious time for him and his team to be able to get there closer to that Yule Scepter.
Excretion's lineup is not very good at killing Roshan right now, so they are just gonna try to keep finding kills on the map. Continuously going for the pickoff and trying to get to the towers.
Blacklist ought to know that Shield Rune is last. I don't know if they've seen all the runes, but I should have seen most of them. So I'm not too concerned with a Storm with a Shield Rune. You know, I'd consider taking these next 2 minutes to farm and try and fight if they take the fight to you.
They just need to split. If either the Naga Illusions or the Ember should try to farm in a very dangerous position and cut the waves, and the supports they should be doing the same thing.
Right.
Cut waves,
right.
Try to farm as much as you can, and obviously try to break smokes whenever you feel like the carries are in danger.
You saw the graphic there that it's been Blacklist still being able to collect a good amount, a good share of the bounties.
I mean, with Doom, with the Midas and the Naga Illusions, they're actually able to farm a lot out of the map and generate gold out of nothing. You know?
Yeah, that's always effective. Mid lane, yeah, they could be in some trouble here, as there's going to be the initiation. Palos rooted now, with 3 heroes now trying to fight into him with the Techie's Mind. That'll do it. A big kill here, and the money into the pockets of Carl. There's the tip we're looking for. That a boy, Bosku.
That deserves a tip, you know, like Palos is just too cocky right there. Like, you don't see anyone on the map, you know, you don't take the mid wave.
Big zip. That's going to be the little bit of a rune active there for Boss, because he's trying to make it outside of this one alive. Tim's with the mechanism, and we'll not be able to see him through that. However, and Carl didn't do much, but offer at least a sleight of fist from the river.
Yeah, and Pugna just pops him up. Bob is ready to, if he's to anyone. I think at this point you need to have lane wards, you know, if you're Excretion, because you have the advantage. You feel like you're strong, and you're continuously trying to run at the enemy, and they're always dodging.
Bottom tower is under
one thing you
attack.
can do about it is get lane wards.
Yeah.
So you see how they are moving across the map, where they are going.
Blacklist have one down bottom where your QP is farming.
Oh yeah,
and
this is a nice one.
Yeah, and that mid lane ward as well ain't half bad, especially considering you've taken that tier 1 tower. Does give you decent information to try and pivot around. 20-minute rune though, Winter is upcoming, and considering that could be any rune in the game, I'm a little bit scared if I'm Blacklist. I don't want to try and contest this.
Pray it's not an arcane rune.
You pray it's not an arcane. Yeah, they don't even need a regen at this point because you have the Pugna. See what it is. Right now, Blacklist set up to try and contest for the bottom rune. Top lane all but belongs to Execration. As the rune does spawn bottom, it's a DD. Go into the bottle of Carl. This might be something, maybe, especially with the missed zip here. Okay, the bomb's going off now, especially as the blast off, which is good work. Bob, oh, barely zipping away in time. Winter, that's because he had ball lightning level 2. Ball lightning level 1, I don't believe he makes it out alive on that cast animation. That's that experience getting him out.
Yeah, lucky no one is dying for Excretion. And Black Wings, they're gonna be fine with that too, because it means more time for the Doom and the Naga to just keep the ball going.
Yeah.
Keep the goal flowing into their pockets. Excretion, they are more concerned about trying to get something done right now, you know. You need to push and get a tower. You don't really want to deal with this Doom Naga late game. It's going to be very annoying for you.
Where's this team struggle though? Execration, are they just waiting for the items, do you think, Winter? Or is this a lineup that actually doesn't really hit towers that well?
I mean, you have a Pugna Blast, and you have Marcy with Unleash, and with the Sidekick, so...
And the heals, yeah, it's pretty good. Turns active. Carlos here wants to try and I don't know about defend because the tower's already gone.
Try to delay.
I suppose the rune was gonna pop. What they last.
Here comes the smoke.
Oh, wait, hold on, Winter. There's a heart now online already for the Naga Siren. Dire have scanned this up. They're gonna need to try and find the fight here. They've stolen Pugna Blast now. It's 3 heroes. Only finding Carlo, but it's something here. Life Drain is gonna be interrupted there by the Infernal Blade of KP, and it's an easy kill into the hands of Carl. It's another kill streak bonus as well. Made even faster by that DD.
A good amount of gold for killing a support.
For a Pugna, not half bad.
Yeah, Blacklist is going to be absolutely happy about that. They're going to go back through the Twin Gate, switch sides on the map, and just keep farming. Viper's gonna push out the mid lane, he's gonna have his Maelstrom soon. And this is what Blacklist wants, keep the game in a status quo. Everybody is farming, chuffing out ways.
Zip zap.
You're happy. You have Doom, you have Midas, you have Devour, you have a Naga. Whereas Execration, this is not good, you know. You want the kills to be happening. You want the Storm and the Pugna to be running around. Kill after kill after kill.
That's just not happening here. I mean, Pugnas are... You know, honestly, Winter, I had never considered the fact that you can use a Glimmer Cape to basically get free heals out onto your allies.
Welcome to
Because
the...
now it's a shield. Yeah, that's a damn good point. I gotta start playing this Pugna. That seems really good. But Execration, I don't know. They had a good amount of wind in their sails for like the first 2 or 3, power rune spawns, and then it's just completely deflated here. It's a very stale game, let's be honest. Not a whole lot going on as Blacklist just want to farm.
Unable to deal with the wave shop, you know. I feel like in a couple of their moves, they were involving the Darkseer a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's not really what you should be doing. You can involve the other heroes, but the Darkseer, you need to use the Iron Shell to deal with...
Push out your waves.
Yeah, you need to deal with the illusions. And then obviously the Marcy, she has battle for you, so she's going to be juggling whatever, farming ancients, pushing out one side of the map. But the Darkseer also has to be dealing with the...
He does. And I think even if the Darkseer deals with deep push, it naturally gives Blacklist Rivalry, an objective to do. Good TP out again from Raven, because the smoke from Execration, it's miles away, but it was on its way.
So many heroes, though. Okay, this time it might be fine because Marcy just completed BKB.
Okay, Blink BKB Battle Fury now on the Marcy. So she can reach, but let's keep our eye on Raven here, Winter. He's starting to really recover. That net worth, I mean, richest hero in the game for now, and by the looks of things, KP's not going to be feeling, he's not going to have to go penny pinching for much longer here. He's about to actually overtake the Storm. These kinds of games feel the worst for the Storm Spirit, don't they? But compared to last game where Bob was being the pseudo frontliner, he was cosplaying a frontliner on the Queen of Pain. He's been looking for kills. He's got the Pugna to back him up. They just haven't connected. And now for the first time this entire game, it's Blacklist Rivalry who make an aggressive move.
Yeah, look at their net worth. Like, Boom has already caught up. Like, he has a pipe done with the Offering Call. He feels strong. He's the real frontline right now.
And they actually see Bob. He's completely alone underneath that ward. They're going to make a play towards him.
Oh, Twin Gate. Are they going to go through the Twin Gate?
Not sure what the move is. It looks like the Twin Gate's the move. There's Observers too, in fact, out from the side of Execration. As in they go. Bosco's going to be the first to reveal himself, but they did just barely see Carl, so they know that there's more enemy heroes. Palos itching for a fight with his fresh 9-second BKB. He needs to find the right kind of an engagement. Tims, he's going to capture that Watcher. As Execration once again moving to battle here on the top side of the map near the Roche Pit. It's Carl who's caught by the silence, but otherwise safe from harm's way for now. As Bob, he needs a mana refill. He's fresh out. Ag Scepter finished up, so now we've got the Anime Punch online for Tino. Keep your eyes up for that one in this fight. Could be really annoying here for the Naga Siren alongside the Wall Illusions generator. And the ward doing quite a number as Carlo looking to try and get some wards up. Equalize here the vision advantage. Tino finding the mines as there they go. They zip on through onto the high ground. They have fought the backliners. Tim, but he's going to be okay for now, but it's Palos who's in onto KB. KB in trouble, silence and killed through the Mystic Flare. Palos with the kill credit. Song of the Siren is going to be able to allow Blacklist Rivalry to bail out from this fight. Only losing the Doom as Tim's just barely choosing the right tree to hide behind. Will make it home safely.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a bot fight for Blacklist. I'm not very sure what he was trying to do there. He tried to go in. Maybe he was considering dooming one of the heroes there, which he saw, but then he changed his mind and then he got caught by the Marcy and he just died. The song was already too late. Marcy popped BKB, so you can't really stop anything. I guess you could be happy just losing one hero. At least it looked like they could have lost a lot more heroes there. Bomb.
Another big sip. Dorgan as well, mid-flood. The Ul Scepter will save with Shanks in position and ready for the follow-up silence. The vacuum now on the 2, but Raven from behind joining the fight. Mechanism is going to be able to see Carl through a good fight, and KP's return. Infernal Blade onto Shanks. That'll secure the kill as Carlo this time bailing. What are we casting SA again? The team that takes the Roche ends up losing the fight.
I'm afraid so. SCA is the same as SA without the E.
That's right. Damn, Winter, that may have been the truest shit you've ever said in your life.
I take that as a compliment. Sir Richie.
Let's take another look at that fight here. A decent blast off to prevent the permastun from coming through onto Bob. We've seen one Doom this game, right? But KP, obviously not needing to drop it there. Just a decent fight, just a decent turnaround. Without a high 5 that we've done our impact move on, I believe. Good,
I'd rather see a high five than a tip.
I guess so. Suppose I can't disagree with you.
My
Nice.
tips are for when the game is
Radiant's
truly
top
over.
tower is under
Really?
attack.
I'm the exact opposite.
I'm a polite person.
I only respect someone if they're tipping out of the gate, you know? If I'll chat good luck, have fun, and someone tips me immediately, I know it's on.
Okay, then we can't play Dota together, I'm so sorry. Let's just agree to
disagree.
and just not play together, because if we play together, then we won't be able to be friends anymore.
X shard now for the techies. Pretty good one against the Storm Spirit, honestly.
Yeah, the disarm, very valuable.
Yeah.
Against the Marcy too.
Very good point.
If she doesn't have BKB on.
Yeah, very good point. It's going to be extremely bothersome here. I mean, the tools are getting online now for Blacklist. You can see Raven eager to join these fights. I mean, he's got Heart online. He's got this Manta. Really, only the thing I think he's got to be careful for, Winter, is that he doesn't get caught by the back wall immediately into the normal punch and generate illusions that his own team are going to struggle to deal with. Beyond that,
Yeah.
Here I am.
The Blood Con there.
on Storm, really?
On the Naga.
Oh, Naga, okay. That makes much more sense. Yeah, I was about to say, on Storm, it didn't really feel like the Storm could pan down into too much.
Yeah, because they weren't able to get pickups. I feel like it wasn't because of the heroes. It's more about how they were playing the map, because they couldn't really deal with the wave shaft. And right now they're in this situation where
Dire's middle
sure they have
tower
the
is
Aegis,
under
but the
attack.
Naga and Doom already got a lot out of the early game. You know, they had a really bad start, but the mid game they sort of recovered with the push on the Devour and the Midas. Naga farming with the ult. So right now you see
Radiant's middle
Experience
tower
not
is
having
under
much of a
attack.
lead. And if they can't accomplish
Dire's middle
much
tower
with the
is
Aegis,
under attack.
this is gonna be bad for them, even though
It
there's
is.
the Pogner song.
I think a little bit of a bit unlucky as well for Bob not to have spawned in our second Arcane yet. First Arcane was
Radiant's bottom tower is
at
under
8
attack.
minutes, the very first Power
Wow,
6.
you actually remember.
Yeah, he hasn't had the Arcane yet. And I think if he had Arcane with this first Aegis,
What'd I miss?
I think that'd be a pretty big,
Radiant's
spike for
bottom
him, to be
tower is
honest.
under
Has
attack.
someone left a token on the ground? It's Bob's, isn't it?
Radiant structures
Yeah,
are
yeah.
fortified.
Not leave your tokens behind.
Nope.
I think there's like, sometimes there's like a bug if you like vulnerable to the top. I don't know, like it's
Yeah.
so strange.
I'm not sure what it is either. Carl, careful. Oh, Paolo's just underneath the tower. The silence is well into the vacuum. Have they really changed on this well enough? They have. Carl assassinated underneath his tier 3 tower.
This is the opening that Excursion needs right now.
Absolutely.
Car has buyback though.
Paolo's not waiting for a Storm Spirit to do anything. Just on that Blink Dagger reveal on the way in. We'll see how many more of those he gets this match.
He needs his gas station. Bob needs his gas station. He's thirsty. I need a drink.
Had a big gulp there. Telekinesis, but careful because Bob on the way on in. Really good Glimmer Cape, though, can prevent any sort of follow-up. And actually now the Ensnare. Can they consider Doom? Even now on the second life, no. A really good save out from Carlo. Is going to see Bob, yes, barely off of the high ground with that second zip. Paulo's looking a bit worse for wear, actually, but able to fight through the illusions, no problem. There's going to be just a big old reset here from Execration. The high ground proving to be a bit too difficult to crack open on the first go.
Well, they survived the Aegis timing at least. Excursion is not going to be able to use the Aegis for anymore. Blacklist, they are going to have a sigh of relief. Back to farming, continue skill, that's the name of the game for them. Spend your high ground with the supports. I mean, it kind of sucks, playing support in a game like this, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do it, man. I mean, I have to really commend Carl. I think this is something he's really grown into, especially over the course of this year, is kind of just settling and recognizing what his team needs and settling into that kind of a role game to game. Especially on his Ember, he's able to still kind of have that reaction speed and whatnot. Unleash movement speed talent taken here by Marcy, already up to level 20. By far the more popular one. Ends up allowing her to keep up with the Doom, keep up with the Naga right after Ensnared, stuff like that. But this Ag Scepter as well online for her. Having a Dispel at the ready could prove to be really useful. No talent taken on the Rubik. That tends to be pretty normal. Usually the first one you see on Rubik is at 15, 25% CDR. Depending on the game. This game, nothing too great to steal this game as the Rubik. I guess maybe yeah, nothing really too great, huh? Maybe Sidekick?
Yeah. You be the Pugna, you be the
You
gas
can
station.
just be the better Pugna.
Be the gas
Radiant
station.
are scanning.
I could see that.
It's nice to steal the nether ward against your heroes.
That's a good point, especially, yeah. You know, I
I
can
mean,
see
if
that.
you ever get it, you're probably not supposed to get it.
It's a big moment now. There's a butterfly completed here for the Naga Siren. How does this change, in your opinion, the direction of this game, the balance of this game? 32 minutes in, only 15 kills. Winter, sure, you know, Execration doubly knows the Blacklist rivalry, but in your opinion, have they done enough now as we set up for this second Roche to, you know, confidently call their early game, you know, good, effective?
I think for the Naga, sure you get the butterfly. I mean, but you still can't win the game on your own. You need the Doom to get to a point where you get BKB, Refresher, Shiva, even. I think for Execration, you're also not really happy. You know, I think you expect the lead to be bigger, just based on how well they started the early game, how fat the Darkseid got from the lanes. And right now the lead is just 2k. You know, that's nothing. You know, 2k lead at this point.
No, it really isn't. Especially now, I mean, considering KP, he's just been quietly sat back and farmed. And he's still slightly trailing behind his opponents, but basically there now when it comes to the items and the Midas gold difference, not really amounting to much at this stage of the game. It's not Blacklist Rivalry who find the D-wards. They're ready for the next Roche, which could be up as soon as in a minute, but it'll very likely, Winter, end up spawning top, or at least there's a good chance, 2/3 chance it'll spawn top. Either way, Blacklist Rivalry, historically in the series, not fighting well in that top Roshan area. Seem to be more eager to now fight around bottom. As Execration on the smoke move. End up setting off a mine in the old pit. There's Palos. Oh my goodness, nearly 3-shot that Eversworth. The Yule Scepter able to buy him some time, but now Palos in onto KP and the clean damage on the boss. Who punched back and killed. Palos rewarded with 2 kills there as they do look for more. Look at that data to the corner pass. Not good enough as Raven. He needs to get the song off now, but it's not in time. Bob zipping on through, cuts down Carl. I think even if the song's out, the fight is lost without buyback on the Ember Spirit. They're going to try, though. That's now a Doom here onto KP. Or sorry, out from KP is what I mean to say. And Raven able to surround and conquer there onto the Darkseer. Roshan in the meantime, Winter, it's a fast Roche. He will spawn bottom.
It's kind of like, what, 2 for 2 with a buyback? Actually,
That's right.
3 for 2. 2 buybacks.
Yeah, KP buying back there as well. Actually may have ended up making a bit of a key difference here. Darkseer without buyback for 30 seconds, but Palos is a little bit too crazy right now on this damage from the Marcy. There's that Roshan, that Sucro Kachang Roche cam. See what they can do now is they're going to lose the wards.
And have to chill and wait for Raven to have the song again. 20 seconds. Shouldn't take a fight without the song here. Way too risky. Ember's about to spawn. Yes, his BKB up in 15 seconds.
Yeah, and Roche is going to head top now as well. Execration with control over the Twin Gates will be able to make the move first.
Yeah, and Raven sending.
Wait, what's going on with that Blacklist Rivalry? There's a... Yeah, with Tim's, he's just dead. He TP'd, I think, just way too early. He's got buyback. As we'll see now, Roche make his trip on over to the top lane, his pilgrimage. Very appropriate of a Storm Spirit to jump into the picture as well, jumping right into frame. And, well, Palos nearby. This really shouldn't take too long. Can they fight this?
It's a contest. There's no way. Like, Blacklist has to get ready here, use the buyback, and fight.
20 seconds left. You do hold that outpost now on Dire's side. That's Abyssal Blade, though, finished off now for the Marcy. That could be a big one.
On boss school, he needs to place it down. He needs to go find a good location, place it down in the lane. I like it in the lane and just try to...
They're too late. I think they're going to be too late. They can't contest.
I mean, they have a song.
By the time the Naga illusion gets here, I don't think they're going to be in time. They're not moving towards the Roche pit.
Oh, they don't know?
It's just going down. Well, now they know, but they're scrambling. They have no idea what to do. They're running away, Winter. They want nothing to do with this.
Is mine.
Execration will take the Roche for free.
Surprised. I'm baffled. I felt like it was quite obvious that the Raven is doing Roche. Like, what else could they be doing? Even if they're not doing Roche, you need to at least be ready in the area, you know, like get ready, wait for the illusion to check before you run away and try to push out the other lanes, you know. I felt like that was the normal thing that you should be doing. So right now, unfortunately for them, they're gonna give up the Aegis and Shifts to Execration, and this is bad news, you know. It's totally bad news for them. Now it means that the next couple of minutes is going to be again another dodging game for Blacklist. Cut out the creep waves with your Ember Spirit, your Naga, your Doom. Wait for KP to finish his BKB, and then you want to get the refresher next.
Yeah, no. feel like Carl's really, even with his BKB Yule Scepter, he's really having a tough time finding any utility now. With how, especially with that Abyssal Blade, with how Farm Paulo says.
I mean, I didn't really feel like we had an Ember this game. You know, like, we just really quiet the whole game.
Right. Things looking, feeling difficult now for the side of Blacklist Rivalry. It's the damage now, the Aegis as well now to back up Bob. Paulo's being incredibly strong. Now 8k, decent items, but still constantly being out-farmed. Butterfly as well, not really making too big of a difference. The control also doesn't really feel like it's been there all game for Blacklist to be able to really enable Raven to get on top of these enemy heroes and to really, you know, rip through them with the Riptide.
Well, at this point, it's more about like planning your team fights already. I feel like that point of the game has already passed. Like, you need to really figure out how you're supposed to get a team fight if you're Blacklist. How are you going to use this song? Is it offensively to set up a fight for a team? Or you just wait. Send Doom up, send Ember up, they're going to go in, create some chaos, Storm is going to ball in and out. The moment you see a good time to use Storm, break the fight.
Well, Paulos is just in. He's done with these towers. 4-5 comes through.
Done with this game, and I just want to do everything quickly right now. Just try to end the game.
No. Weird. They fortified before the tower went down because it was, but because, well, they fortified clearly, I guess, after the tower went down. But because it was the first tier of the tower that went down, they still got it refreshed.
Yeah. So right now the Marcy has Aghanims, gives him the Dispel.
Yep. She's had that for a while actually.
So it's good against like, I guess it's good against like
the ensnare.
The ensnare, the chains.
Radiant's bottom tower
Very useful
is under
if you
attack.
get disarmed by the techies.
Wow, she does so much damage. That's gonna make things pretty scary for Blacklist to try and fight into here. Got no choice really. There they go, bullying the illusions. He's now got Nago illusions of his own that are also just a bit better. Bob as well. There he comes back to the gas station. Back to top up. Then onto that Aegis. Carl doing what he can, Winter, but it's starting to feel, I mean, it's been oppressive. We're at 40 minutes. Last time 50 minutes was where Execration were able to drag this one out and get their late game carry online.
Have you not forgotten that we have the longest game in SEO?
That's true. I mean, and for good reason, Winter. That's why, you know, we got this game, right?
To remind you,
Just in case we forgot.
the struggle that we had in DPC.
That reminds me of watching 2 or 2 Blacklist and Execration. But Execration now, maybe proving that they're in a bit better form. Need to move on in. Ready for another Blink initiation here for Paulos.
1 minute on Aegis, Richie.
Paulos, he's going to be scouted out by those mines now. First and second now going off with Bob. Looking for anyone a bit too close. Has set off 2 mines himself. Not to worry, of course. Still has Carlo with plenty of mana. Searing Chains. Now takes 5 more mines as KP in on the Doom. The Aegis on the Storm Pit. They need to first be able to burst through the Marcy. The life drain's not enough. Carlo cannot be top off the Paulos. Marcy fast enough. And now Blacklist Rivalry unleashing the pain onto Execration. 3 heroes down as Carlo able to TP away. And Bob able to zip and TP out of the fight as well. But once again, it's KP who makes the difference here. Every time the teams needed him, Winter, it's felt like he's been the hero.
Quite rather surprising that they're actually standing in a way where it made it so easy for KP to just jump in, get the stun, get the initiation.
Yep, Blink BKB pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's probably because also their lineup. You know, Marcy is not the best hero to siege high ground with. You're really good at killing heroes, but you're not good at killing buildings here. And you don't have the Aegis. The Storm has the Aegis. So then it makes it very weird for them to like, who is going to go up the high ground and siege the towers, you know. Like, you have to be able to kill them first, I think. If you don't kill the heroes, it's quite hard for them to hit the buildings with their heroes.
If not, honestly, just about impossible. This rivalry now for the first time with momentum. Aegis expiring as well here for the side of Execration. Blacklist immediately onto the opposite side of the map. Seizing the moment here, neutralizing that 8k net worth lead. Finally, really playing with a purpose for the first in this game. I mean, it makes sense now that the Naga Siren feels strong and unleashed. Here they go. We'll see if we can really, you know, pull this game back into control. If you're Execration, are you worried, or are you still confident this Marcy can?
You're worried, man. You're in a 50-minute game against Doom Naga.
Bosku ended up getting caught there by Bob. Join blow goes to Carlo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Might be able to figure out that there's an observer what they're dying like this.
Maybe.
That's a
Maybe.
chance.
There's a chance. For Bosku, I mean, it is, you know, his first tour back to support for a while, so, you know, give him a little bit of credit
How much
here.
would you wager he would D-ward?
I think he's going to put the ward in the middle of the river, though.
And then miss the D-ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
That's a pretty sneaky lane right there. It's a good one. Those KP, speaking of being sneaky, comes up with this ninja gear to be able to move around the map a bit easier. Hunting basically with Raven.
I mean, if he gets a pick off on the Storm or the Marcy, that would be really ideal. I think the Storm will be the best target, because Storm is the one like shuffling the waves out and setting up for kills. Storm is like kind of the best pick off kill.
This Nagasara, I mean, she can't really get much bigger. Certainly we're reaching the time where she just becomes too problematic for Execration. Then again, Execration, you know, when they're at their best, when they look their most brilliant, it's always against these other C teams in fights where they have no right to win. You know these games I'm talking about. You know their very first game in the Winter DPC Tour against SMG.
You never count that up. That's what I love.
You can't count them out.
Because somehow, some way, they will find a way, or their opponents find a way.
Yeah, sometimes it's definitely their opponents. So that's it. They're playing a pretty excellent game here so far. This time, except now on Bob. He's got that budget black hole on the AoE Vortex. See who can find there. Might end up being proven to be quite a difference maker. Carl as well has done well to at least find enough experience for himself around the map.
I mean, this game has been like pretty close in terms of net worth for the whole time. You know, like both teams are just.
They had an 8K lead, which against a Doom is pretty significant, I would say.
I guess so.
Right, but in general, like
The last 15-20 minutes, everything has been quite.
To me, that does speak volumes about how well Blacklist. You know, I commended Execration last time on how they were able to avoid fights and push around the map. How well Blacklist Rivalry was able to do the same. I mean, they were just on the receiving end of this after all. Can they actually finish it off though?
They need a good ward, good lane ward. Get a pick off. It's all about the pick offs right now. Like if you get a key pick off on a key target, like on a core hero on either team, without buyback, so you need to do it twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe force a Roche on
maybe, yeah, maybe you do it once, and then you start Roche. But right now, Roche is down bottom. He'll be moving top in 40 seconds, but I don't think it will last that long, actually. This is going to be the Roche shot going the way of Blacklist Rivalry. They've got this one in the bag. It's super weird. I remember last Roche when we were like, Blacklist, you need to contest this. And we did. And now Execration, you should contest this. And they are completely on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. I feel like they could have just forgotten. Or they have an arcane.
There you go. You can see how Bob just zipped across the map in order to pick that one up. He wasted absolutely no time. And now he's like, let's really, excuse me, my top up, please. I need mana. Where's my mana, boy? There you go, Carla. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're playing Witch Doctor and you're not the Storm player. Imagine if I'm playing partner with you in a game and my Storm player is like tapping his hands, telling me to come give him.
I would absolutely do that if I knew how to play Storm Spirit.
Looking for me?
Unfortunately, I cannot. That's Refresher, by the way, for KP. I don't believe there are any Lincolns online for the side of Execration, so that's effectively 2 Dooms now. Oh, there is a Lincoln. I saw it just now. And a Lotus, so there's some caution to be advised here. But that's the Raven's just chilling here. They're gonna get aggressive. He does have Aegis on himself now. Careful, look at the counter initiation. The Doom, number 1, is gonna be onto the storm. Doom gets that. The damage as well. It's too high. Tim's is gonna be taken down. Then Paulo's even beating it to Raven. Raven holding on to the side of the side as he still has the Aegis, but there's gonna be now the damage onto KP. There's the Abyssal Black now onto Paulo's as he is still winning this fight. KP blinking back on in. Does not have the second. Doom Bob on the initiation, but doesn't have the BKB, and the Song of the Sign prevents the follow-up damage. What can Blacklist now do on the counter initiation? As there is going to be the ensnare, reflected and dispelled back. A big 3-man vacuum. That's going to be able to get them on Bob. Bob jumps back on it. It's KP who's falling quite low. Gets the hook stop on Tim's with a crucial start on it. That's going to allow Raven to win the fight versus Paulo, but Bob still fighting to do this one. KP too tanky. Can't be taken down. The Tuki's right going on. KP running out of the fight as well with the ace stream. The one stop up the hill misses. He got 2 in a row, Winter! He's still alive, and with the haste root, he's going to be able to turn with the cheese, chasing after Bob. Raven still waiting to fight in the rest of the river, as Bob is going to end up getting caught now. The KP whips on the spells, but it's not going to matter much, as Bosku, after buying back, will be able to chase him down. Carl with the searing chains, there's going to be the damage, and finally the kill, Winter. And where's the tip, boy? Where's the tip?
There you go.
There it is, Bosku! That, oh boy, what a fight from Blacklist, Winter.
If there's no tipping, it's not an SEA game, man. No. I mean, this is the opening that they already used buyback on the Storm Spirit, so he's gonna be away for 90 seconds. Two lanes of Rex, at least I guess for them. Or are they gonna go for the jugular? They're gonna try to force the throne.
Let's see what they want to do here. They do have another Doom ready to go. 722.7 last-hits, Winter. That's the highest amount of last-hits we've had thus far in the game. Normal punch, careful here though. We're able to make it out alive for now. Raven taking a good amount of damage and still conserves the Aegis, Winter. 2 cores now left without the side of Execration, and Carl can't quite find the damage to kill he's looking for. Do need another 15 seconds for the Marcy, unable to really make it work as the Mystic Flare being thrown down, trying to buy as much time as they can. Fortify out as Execration doing whatever they can to try and make sure that they get another fight here versus Blacklist. That's a TP away from Carl, but he's up the Remnant. He'll be back, Winter. Ooh, and Tino with the normal punch, trying to really displace as much as they can. Pablo's ready to go on in the Unleash. Well, there's now KP on the Doom. No, he's doing the Naga illusion. Winter, he's messed it up. He couldn't even eat it to hide his shame. And now Palos, he's got to kill him just to avoid the embarrassment. Oh, Raven, he might not be out of this one either. Tino punching into him, doing as much damage as he can as Carl ready to hold him back with at least the Searing Chains. BKB immediately is going to be Palos, and now Carlos. They actually still want to fight this one. They're feeling confident, Winter, at least for now, but Raven pulls back on in. He could have ran with the song duration, gets the 4-step on back, still has the Aegis, but there's now going to be Palos jumping back on in and finding the kill here on the second life. He's 25, by the way, does have that bout of magic immunity, as they are going to be able to connect the stuns, the lockdown onto Raven. He looks back now for one of the supports, but completely left behind. Winter, Execration strike back.
Raven is dead. Is that even worth it for one melee Rex? At this point of time, I don't think so. Doom is dead as well, no buyback. I mean, this is huge. Raven has to buy back to try to de-push the.
He's not even waiting a second there, Winter.
I mean, this is bad news for them, you know. They have to try to maybe jump the waves out and wait for his next buyback cooldown. But this is gonna be a long ass game.
This is tough. This is tough. As for buyback, still on the side of Execration, Paulo still retains his, as does Tino. So this push has some gas now coming from Execration. There's a real win condition here, Winter, but Execration not seeming like they're gonna want to push their luck here. They're gonna take it easy. They're gonna take a deep breath.
Hero with a buyback right now. The Marcy. Everyone else has no buyback.
This is the C experience we were looking. If only Execration had barreled right back down mid, Winter, it would have been the payoff we were looking for. Another 50-minute game.
Don't worry, Richie. The game is not over. That could happen still.
That could still happen. There's still plenty of time for that. There's that positive, the PMA Winter attitude that you're quite famous for.
I gotta admit, I'm not the most. Yeah.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed.
I've been really good at concealing that fact.
Yes, indeed. I don't think anyone has ever picked up that on you. For now, though, Blacklist rivalry. I mean, Winter really back in this game. That's an arcane, though. Carlo, loyal as ever, the gas station says, "Hey, boss." Oh, you forgot to pick it up, Bob. There you go. I mean, it's fine.
I'm a guest.
Don't worry about it. He's really making sure that Carlo earns his keep. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
I have special for my guests. You know, everybody has to pay $20 per liter, but I only pay $0.
That's right. He gets it for free. He's friends with the gas station owner. You know, he's good there. That's unbelievable here. KP in that last fight as well, dooming the normal punch illusion has got a sting. What could have been had that actually not been the case?
Game might have ended actually.
Instead, another chance for Execration. They forced the buybacks back. And I have to say, KP, you know, Blacklist have overall as a team been having some rough games this season, this tournament, this major, right? But he's generally been their rock, you know.
I mean, at this point, you want to avoid that, just put a Doom on yourself.
Just put the Doom on yourself. That might end up doing the trick. It's true that's what I end up seeing most Dooms do when they get the Ags.
But the thing is, like, sometimes it's just better to Doom the hero because it's not reliable that you can follow the target all the time, you know.
My goodness, I mean,
Like,
Winter.
especially you just Doom maybe.
Yeah, we might end up being in for a bit of a longer series here, or game.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can we get
That
Can we get to be as long as the first game?
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell, honestly. That game, third longest game, 116 minutes, I believe. 2 hours, 16 minutes, I mean. 136 off the top of my head. Ridiculous.
1 million rapiers in a game?
Probably like 6 or 7 rapiers. I mean, that was a game certainly for the books. I don't think we're going to be able to get to that one. And I say that, Winter, with the full intent, trying to channel all of my power to make sure that we have a 3-hour game.
You should never say that. You should just think it's an SEA game.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit the hour mark. I might not even be too surprised, Winter, if we go, say, 70 minutes. But I just don't see Dota games going that long. What happened in that game was just...
Carlos is all alone on the map. He triggered mines.
Oh, he's going in aggressively. He thought there was someone up there. Paolo's fighting his inner demons up there on the ward spot. And here come the real ones. Blacklist. Oh, they're ready to find one of the high ground. Kagan finds the dude. Here for some stock. They're all down. With the double doom now onto the 2 most mobile cores. And they can do it. Nothing. Bob is dead. Raven chasing after the Darkseer. And they're going to get the Pugna for free as well. That's 2 dead with no buyback. And they're on to Paolo's. He's by Raven. He's going to be able to get the rebound out. But Carlo getting chased. Tim's as well. Going after him with the mines. Carlo now right on his play. Paolo's can he get back into the base? They're actually going to self-lotus, or rather, use the Lotus aggressively. The stun does connect, but Paolo receives another 4-step out. Shanks saves the life of his ally. He gives Execration one more real chance to track this one to another 2-hour game.
Of these 20 seconds before he has buyback, 15 seconds right now.
They're not going to have a bot lane of barracks for that much longer. Winter, I don't think it's worth the risk. I don't think they should go in on this. They still have a tier 2 top lane. This is not... doesn't need to go down like this as Raven. The punch, not going to connect onto him. And he has dealt a lethal blow to your bottom barracks. Blacklist rivalry firmly in control of this game now, Winter. But don't count out Execration.
That was such a weird initiation, you know. I get it, you know, the initial jump, he assumed that there's somebody standing at the twin gate. Yeah, that's the normal thing to do, right? You're holding a position, standing twin gate with 1 or 2 heroes, you have an observer ward and stand he plays down there. So he jumps up, he assumes there's someone there, but he doesn't find anybody, then he backs off. And then his team just goes in again, you know, with the Storm Spirit, without having like a proper observer ward. Like, I felt like if you get the observer off on the cliff, sure, you can decide go in or not, but he just went in blind, you know, he doesn't see anything, he just runs in, initiates, and then they get doomed. And then the fight's over.
And the fight's over. I mean, he didn't get doomed. Oh, now he's doomed. Okay. How is this happen, KP? I suspect he might have had something to do with this. Rooted up. There's going to be now Unleash. No chance. I mean, just a dead puzzle. He doesn't have buyback.
What the hell is this game, right?
What did he do?
It's mine.
Brought an MKB, I assume.
It's a 100 gold shot. Somebody has to pick up some bounty routes.
They did. Shanks just picked up a bounty rune, but he's still short. He's still just short, Winter.
Oh, no.
The greed. We talked about Blacklist playing greedy. How about that?
When we were having dinner, when we counted our vouchers and coupon shots, I thought it would never happen to anyone but us.
And here we go.
Happening to Execration.
And now Execration,
100
they find themselves just 100 short. In a game like this,
is there any more bounty runes?
Not that much.
Oh, there's one more bounty rune.
There's one top. There's one top. We need that bounty for Execration, but who can go and pick it up? Because only Bob has buyback.
I think Bob should go and pick it up.
Might not be that big of a risk. Roche is up though, and if they just don't make any moves, Blacklist rivalry, they're pushing on tier high. I mean, it's too late now. This is their Roche. You'll have 3 buybacks, but
every pressure shot on
what can you do? What can you do for Execration?
Wait in base and hope for the best because it's an SCA game.
It's the rivalry round. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Let's keep trying, you know. Continue, keep tipping the enemies. They might get tilted. They might dive in the fountain.
There it is. KP sees Bob, says hello, the shortest blink dagger of all time, just to flex at him. He might even drop both dooms on him. The war stop as well. There's no way out of this one for Bob. Lifted away from his team. The doom still lasting a couple more seconds. The surge trying to get him out of trouble, but no. Bob will die. They can't even deny him. Tino now, stolen vacuum here is going to be put into some trouble, but it's really the Naga song. Oh, and Tim's on the setup, catching both supports. Raven trying to do the force out, being a little bit difficult with possible, but what I can do with him? It's sight! There's no way out for him. KP! He's turning it right back on them, and now blinking back up to the high ground. Carl joining, Powers doing what he can here. He's not doomed up, but he also cannot fight into this one. Bob doomed, Bob back, doomed again, and with him, down goes Execration in game number 2. Blacklist rivalry will be able to equalize one apiece. As always, Laurent Moulin ends in a draw.
And that's part of the plan all this while. Loses, everybody takes a share of the pie. Everybody's happy. You go home, we share 1-1, and hopefully it actually helps either one of. Actually, no.